White shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. So to London, stand strong, in the stands they belong. Voices echo like thunder, to the club they sing along. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. King's fire in his eyes, glory's what he seeks. With every goal he flies, rising to new peaks. From the lake to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. The pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
Hi and welcome to THFC Tonight. I'm Tottenham past, present and exciting future under somebody. Maybe Ange Postecoglou, maybe the Bournemouth manager, maybe somebody, who knows. But this is my thoughts on the game yesterday. And look, apologies for not doing the game yesterday, final score yesterday, which I normally do. But I was angry. I was really angry with the performance. I was really angry with the way that some of them players gave up. I was really angry with the way the club is at the moment. And to be fair, to be honest with you, I didn't want to come on and do a stream being angry. I had to think about it. I had to really look at the game again, watch it, and put it into my own head why we played so badly. And we did play badly. We played extremely badly yesterday. It was an awful performance. It wasn't great. And these are the games where we should be picking up points. These are the games we just didn't. I think it's our 9th game this season, or the 9th time in Ange's tenure that we've failed to have a shot on goal in the whole game. I mean, that's not good enough. That's not good enough to start off with. Sorry, I just nicked them glasses. That's not good enough to start off with. And then to put in a performance, the 2 goals we conceded, Odegaard losing the ball, trying to, 3 men around him, and he's trying to get through them. You got Ben Davies then can't even tackle. It was just, it was a woeful performance. And I can understand the anger from the fans. I can understand the people that are Ange out. I can understand that. I can understand the anger and the Ange outs, and I get it. I do get it. Something has to change. Nothing's going to change for the end of the season. We all know that, but something will have to change in the summer. The latest I've got, there's a Spurs review at the end of the season, and Ange is not likely going to come through that review. Now, we could. What happens if he goes on to win the Europa League? I don't think we could beat Frankfurt the way we played yesterday. Frankfurt would tear us apart. I will get on with it. I don't know if Rebel, you're free. If you want to pop on, you can do so. So do pop on if you want, Rebel. I want to talk a little bit about Ange and the reaction afterwards, and the way some of the fans reacted to him, the way he's been reacting to the fans as well. I want to get my point of view on that. I'm going to go through the player ratings as well, give you my ratings of the team, and give you some of the reasons why. And then just a little bit about Spurs could still finish 11th. I think you can finish 11th in the league. A lot has to go our way and still qualify for the Conference League. So we've got that as well to go through. So let's welcome a few people in the chat who's in there. Big up to David Clark. Hi to everyone in the chat. Big up Mr. David Clark, a legend in himself. Big up the Rebel. He says you let my lot sneak back in front of you. Also, we're in the crisis. You're not in a crisis, mate. You're not in a crisis. We're in the absolute shithole. Tell Wiseby on these years the way he dealt. Yeah, I thought he'd done. I thought he was he was so mature in the way he dealt with it yesterday. Better than his manager did. And she's just making it rough for his own back. He never treated the Celtic fans like this, and I did see that. He never treated Celtic fans like this. And why is he treating our fans, us, with such disrespect, where he didn't do that with the Celtic fans? And I get it, he's under pressure himself. I get it, it's a different time of pressure. I get it, it's a different type of pressure managing in the Premier League than it is managing in the Scottish League or any other league. But you still don't turn on your own fans. You don't. He's like a thug yesterday. We'll go over there and clump him one. You don't do that. You show more restraint as a manager. You get more respect for doing that. And my sort of way I look at and just dropped a little bit because of it. You don't show disrespect to your fans. Fans have a right to be angry. They pay good hard money. All they expect is a team to come out at the end of the day and put in a performance. Even if we lose, give 100%. None of them players gave 100% yesterday. There's a lot of players hiding. There was a lot of players not doing their jobs correctly. There was a lot of players not good enough. And in my view, Ange should be apologizing to the fans instead of standing up to them like a thug. What the young lads call them, there's no need for that. There's no need for abuse. Abuse should be tolerated. But you should be big enough and old enough to ignore that. You need a thicker skin in the Premier League. And the way Tell handled with it, he went up to the fans to talk to them. I think fair play to him. He had the balls to do it. And a lot of fans were young, but there was a lot of younger fans. And this is the point that I think the younger fans now, this generation of fans, I feel are a bit more. I feel they don't cherish our history. They don't cherish what we've done before. It doesn't matter to them. They don't understand some of the chants that go on, the meaning behind them chants, that it does offend people. And I feel it's a different ball game altogether to when I was a young fan, to when I was a young lad, teenager in my 20s going to support Tottenham. And now I've reached nearly 50. Like, I'm seeing it in a whole different ball game altogether, whole different view. And I just feel that maybe the fans of this generation are so fed up with not being successful, watching the other clubs win trophy, watching Newcastle win the League Cup yesterday. And I get that, the frustration, but you still have to show respect. You still have to show respect. These are human beings at the end of the day. They do have feelings. They do have they have feelings, and they do get hurt by what people say. And in a way, I can understand both sides, but I can understand and should understand the frustration of the fans. We've lost more games this season than we have done in the last 16 years. And it isn't good enough. It's nowhere near good enough. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. It's just a lot of unknowns. We didn't need it coming into this international break, to be fair. We really didn't. But we just have to see where we go from here. See where we go during the summer. So I'm just getting something up my other monitor to remind me to talk about something, because there was something about Marco Silva as well. But look, I want to go through the chat. let's go through that. Then I'll go through the player ratings, guys, and then we'll just talk a little bit about the game. And rarely, oh, that's what I was looking for. Let's see where we'll go from here. Big up to Rebel. He says I can't at the moment. Took a few seconds, Joel. I'll big up Rebel. I'll see you later for the St. Patrick's Day show. Big up to David Clark. My conclusion after watching these players all season is my opinion that it is a combination of two things. That it is a lot of these players ain't good enough at this level, and the combinations isn't right. Do you know what, David? I think you could be spot on with that. I think there's a lot of. I think the camp play Ange ball. Ange won't change his system. Ange won't change the way he plays. And I think that is the problem. I think that's the major problem, that he won't change how he won't have a plan B. And I think a lot of these players, I think you look at Bergville, you look at Archie Gray, who have really stepped up this season, when a lot of the senior players haven't stepped up. They've gone hiding. And it's not good enough. It isn't good enough. It's nowhere near good enough. And this is why I put the show back today, because I was angry last night. I was angry at the performance. I was angry with the players. You just have no motivation of if they can't try. You know, us YouTubers, some of us do try to come on and do shows, and we try to talk about Spurs, and we try to put a good spin on it. But it's very hard when you're going out and watching the performance like that yesterday. The 2 goals we gave away was just schoolboy stuff. It really was absolutely ridiculous. Ben Davies for the second goal should have tackled him at one point. And what's Idebot trying to do, taking on 3 or 4 men? Just pass it, get it out, kick off one of the players, get a throw in. Be sensible with the ball, not trying to be greedy with it. Spurs bloggers are saying that Spurs ain't playing Ange ball. If that's true, then there's a bigger element entiment on Ange, because if we're not playing Ange ball yet, why are we still losing? And yeah, exactly. I just think I put it this way, right? I put it this way, that I think, David, to your point, that I think we see glimpses of Ange ball. We see glimpses of the 3rd goal against AZ Alkmaar. That was Ange ball. That was Ange ball. That's how you play. But you look at the lot of the losses we've had this season, to Ipswich, to Crystal Palace, to Fulham yesterday. It's just bad defending. It's schoolboy stuff. It's normal errors that you shouldn't be making. I don't know. It's just hard to. I just wish the season was over. If it wasn't for the Europa League, I just wish this season's be over. It's a season I want over with, done with. If we're going to sack Ange, for Lord Almighty, just sack him, because this is just punishment. This is punishment on us fans, on the players, and that we know full well what's going to happen at the end of the season. We know full well Ange is going to get the sack. Then if we lose against Frankfurt, then would you mind 8 games under Ryan Mason? I don't think we would. I think we'd take that tomorrow. But because we're still in Europe, and because there's still a chance of qualifying for Europe, that's what's keeping them in the job. But for me, it's getting harder and harder to defend Ange. It's getting harder and harder to defend him, and to really say, look, he will get it right. It's getting harder and harder every day. It is. It's getting really hard every day. David says, all my comments are based on players' ability or lack of ability to carry out our coaching system, not slaughtering players for the sake of it. I get you. I do. You're right on that. I think you're right. Look, if you look at the second, but Ange has never, ever thrown any player under the bus. Maybe he needs to, but I think that's down to him and his management style. But I'm fed up. I'm fed up with this fucking bullshit we're watching. Big up to Taken. Hello, Dermot. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, do join me at 8 o'clock for our traditional St. Patrick's Day show. Me, Mr. Brady, and Kevin will be on talking all things Irish, all things Ireland, from Irish soccer to showing our traditional poaching video where we try to put today's football news within it, which is funny. Ends up me can't even speak in like halfway through it. And yeah, we're just going to talk. I'm also going to try to put together an all-time Spurs and Man United Irish 11. That'd be interesting. But yeah, we're going to try that. But do join us at 8. It is a bit of fun. It's the 1 year we don't talk Spurs. We don't. We leave Spurs to one side and we celebrate everything that is Irish in our country. St. Patrick's Day. It's a national holiday over here. It's a bank holiday. So that is what we're going to do. So we're looking. We're going to do that later. So do join us for that. It's going to be a bit of crack and a bit of Irish fun as well. So we're going to try to put Spurs to one side and enjoy ourselves. And also this week as well, me and Philip are actually getting together. It's a plan we have to do a podcast, but more about that later. We're looking to put something together, non-football, by the way, non-football, nothing to do with Spurs, nothing doing nothing, a little bit something different. A few things that are close to our hearts and a few things we want to get off our chest about the world we live in. So it won't be put up in here. It won't be put up anywhere near THFC Tiddle the Full-Time Sports Network. It will be done on its own merits, as they say. But more on that when it comes. Big up to Taking Greetings from London. Big up, Taking. I hope you're doing well. David says, I've been a big Spence fan, but for the second goal, he lost sight of his man. He did. Then Dave's got himself into the right position, then allowed Sess to bully him. He did. And that was the thing. He did let him bully him, even though both players had decent games. Yeah. I flex that in my ratings for both. They did have decent games, but I think that last bit I think the last goal, the second goal, really showed how it was just woeful. Really was. I wouldn't have Mason as my school. I know, but what do you do, David? Do you put one of the coaches in charge then? It's hard to know what to do, isn't it? Big up to Michael. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Dome. God bless you, sir. Big up, Michael. Join us at 8 o'clock for the Irish show. Do come on for that. It's going to be fun. And big up Paul McGrath. We'll get into that side. He lives just down the road from me, actually, 20 minutes away from me, Paul McGrath. The next village I live in, he lives there in Kilmockridge. Never seen him though. I know he lives down there. I'm going to go knock on his door, see would he come on the channel. That would be, I would love to get him on. I would love to talk to Paul McGrath. Would be great. Wouldn't sack Ange until the summer. I think that's the way. I think that's what will happen, David. But there is a review, and I don't think he's going to come through that review very well indeed. Well, let's go and do the player ratings, guys. And these are my player ratings. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I'll give Vicario a 5. I've written all my notes on me on the monitor, by the way. So Vicario had a decent game, made a few good saves. He really couldn't do much about the Segi goal, the second goal. And, you know, made a few good punches out from corners. So I give him a 5. Jed Spence, I give a 6. I found yesterday he didn't get as forward as much as he has been doing. But I thought he was solidly defensive. He was solid defensively, apart from the last goal. Romero gives 7. Really, I think he was the best player on the pitch yesterday. Romero did come off, did his bit after 60 minutes, and that's when we started going wrong, when we took Romero off. But of course, with Argentina coming back, going to Argentina, probably want to be fresh for that. Look, I'm not Romero's biggest fan at the moment, but he did do well yesterday. He did play well. Ben Davies, solid game. The last goal let him down, got bullied, as David was saying, from Seg. Seguin had no right to score that goal. Ben Davies did get bullied, and that's why I give him a 4. I just thought that he would have got a 5, but I mark him down to a 4 because of that. Your doggy 5, solid performance, nothing spectacular. Did what he had to do, went through the motions. Same with Bentacore as well. He huffed and puffed in that midfield, but didn't really do a lot. Basuma 3, absolutely woeful. Absolutely woeful. Didn't do anything. I don't know why Ange picks him. He needs to go. He needs to go in the summer. Gray for me, 5. Another good performance by Archie Gray. Did well in midfield, then moved back into central defence when Romero was taken off. But it was a professional performance, nothing more than that. Johnson 3 again woeful, didn't do anything, hid for most of the game, didn't do anything, didn't attack his man, didn't do absolutely nothing. And I'm Johnson's biggest fan, but it's getting harder and harder to defend him as well. It really is. He does it. He's a tapping. He goes in there. He gets at the end of goals in the box. He puts himself in the good position, which is a talent within itself. But he's a winger. His job as a winger is to get crosses in, take on these man, and really push all the way. So to be fair, he didn't even do that. So he gets a 3 for me. Solanke 5, worked hard again up front. He does work his balls off when he plays up front, but had a couple of chances and had that really good chance when it came off the chest of Manderson, and he had the goal at his mercy and poked it over the bar. For me, if he took his chances, I think we would have won yesterday, but he did work hard, and that's why he gets a 5 from me. And Tell as well. Tell worked hard as well. Did his bit. Didn't do anything spectacular, but had that one shot that was saved, and then that went to Madison chest, and that's when Solanke should have scored, to be fair. But yeah, 5 for me, and the way he went over to the fans and sort of calmed things down between the fans. I thought it was very mature of him. I thought it was mature. I thought it was very. He's only a young lad, and to go over there after all the abuse that the manager got, that the players got, I think it really was shows of his maturity to go over there and sort of try to calm things down and talk to the fans and say, right, this is what we're trying to do. Bear with us. Vicario said it at the end of the Frankfurt game. He's saying support us, but fans have a right to be angry. They pay good hard-earned money. I rarely don't understand why players don't get. Hang on, I just want to say something. I've got this video. I don't know if I can show it or not. I will show it. I'll just try to download it. It's of the incident yesterday with Ange. So I don't know if I can show it or not. Hopefully I can. I shouldn't get into trouble with it anyway. But yeah, that's my play rating. 7 for the substitutes. I give Lucas Bergville a 7. I thought he done well yesterday when he came on. Sonny, apart from one curling shot, didn't do a lot. James Madison, apart from Huffed and Puff, didn't do anything. Odegaard, he would have got a 5, but gets a 4 for giving the ball away for the score, for the goal, first goal, and indeed Scarlett wasn't on long enough to get a rating. I want to see what you guys think in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. So here we go. We've got David Clark says Vicaria's 5 too many punching, same as me. I think he went with me as well with Jess Spence for 6. He's given Romero 7. Same. You and me are thinking alike so far, David, so far. David 6. I get it. He did have a solid performance, but I just thought he got bullied. He got bullied too much for that last goal, David. That's why I give him a 4. But no, 6. I can see why you give him 6. He did have a solid game. Your doggy 5, Basuma 4. Yeah, I think you and me in the same wavelength there. He was woeful yesterday. Gray 5, solid performance again. You and me the same there. Johnson 2, not good enough to give out. Yeah, do you know what? It's getting harder and harder to support this lad, and he really doesn't do himself any favors whatsoever, guys. There is a rumor that he could be going back to Forest. Is that sort of taking his eye off the ball? He's looking at Forest thinking, fuck, they're in the Champions League. Look where I am. Well, concentrate on your job at Tottenham. That's what you're supposed to do. Big up Dave Slanky 5 should have scored. Yeah, same as me, should have scored. And then Tell 5. You don't know what, David? You and me have nearly have the same ratings. Which is quite unusual for us. We don't usually agree a lot. But you know, you and me, you know, we're getting there. We're getting there, David. We're getting there. Just a little bit right on this, and this came out yesterday. It was put up on X. I did. It's only 17 long, so hopefully we won't get into trouble anyway. But let me know what you think of this, guys.
What was that? What was that? What was that? What was it? What was that? I'm just asking, what was it?
Now, I'm going to play it again because all we hear the lad is saying, what was that? What was that? But there was another comment made in the background, which was a very derogatory, not wrong word, but a very abusive to Ange on his appearance, which you can't really hear, but it is there. Now, it's Ange's reaction. I'm going to do it again, right? I am showing it again, but I just want to take point with Ange's reaction. I want to know if you guys are on my wavelength on this. So I'm going to play it again, and I will talk about it afterwards. But I want you, if you're on my wavelength over this.
What was that? What was that? What was that? What was it? What was that? I'm just asking, what was it?
Now, I understand fans demanding, right? What was that? I get that. They're not happy. We've lost. I get that. But whatever was said to him for his reaction to turn round and stand up like he was about to stand up for a fight is unacceptable for a Spurs manager. There's plenty of managers that take abuse up and down the country week in, week out. There's plenty of managers that get called every name under the sun. And you don't see them sort of standing up to fans or getting into a situation where they're getting in a defensive situation. It's part of the game. It's wrong. It shouldn't be there, but it goes with the territory. And I think Ange should do is just ignore it and walk off. And fair play to tell, he went over. There was another video of him actually talking to the fans. And then they're all saying, want your shirt, give me your shirt. When he's trying to diffuse the situation, say, right, what is your problem? Why are you attacking my manager? These players show they're still behind Ange. These players show they're still behind the manager. And it's very rare that we have Tottenham players when a manager is so much under the cosh that they're still with him, that they're still behind him. Is that the mark of Ange as a person? Is that the mark of the way he manages his squad? How many squads have we seen in the past, or how many managers that players have thrown under the bus? We've had Mourinho, Conte, Nuno, Pochettino. That's just 4. You telling me that is it a different mentality within the squad? I just think Ange should just ignore it and walk off. He should be bigger than that. It's not the first time he's done this. There's a few times he's turned around and reacted to what somebody said in the ground. I get it. It's not nice. I get it. We're all human. I get it. We're all human beings at the end of the day with feelings and emotions, and we don't like to be criticized. We don't like to be abused. We don't like, and it's rightly so, that none of these people should be abused. It should be stamped out of the game, but it isn't. But you don't see every other manager reacting to that, or many players reacting to that. They just ignore it. They walk down the tunnel and say, well, sod you. I'm a lot more money than you are, and I'm doing the job I love. I get it why Ange is angry. He's probably angry because of the performance. He's probably angry because of the result, and he's not thinking straight. I get it. But I think you need to show a little bit more decorum, a little bit more of self I think self-belief is the wrong word. I think it's more of ignore it and just move on. I do think that's my opinion on it. I condone any abuse to any player should not be tolerated. And for what I heard, what Ange was called, I understand his reaction. But a lot of other managers get the same abuse week in, week out, up and down the league in all the different leagues, from the Premier League to the Conference League. And you don't see many managers reacting. They just ignore it. I know it's hard sometimes, and I know emotion can carry you to do things you don't normally do. But in my view, that I think Anne should have showed a little bit of restraint there instead of turning around like, hang on a minute, like you would if you're going to start a fight. I think he should have ignored it and walked down the tunnel. And then he wouldn't have given that person any airtime by turning around and standing up to that person who shouldn't have done it. The stewards should have got rid of him. I hope the club or the stewards do ban him for a game or two, because he deserves that. I think you're giving him airtime, which he does not deserve. He doesn't deserve one iota. Big up to David. Says, use your critics for Ange for his subs, but criticize Ange for his subs, but couldn't yesterday. I think Spurs players' confidence was low and the subs couldn't lift him. Yeah, I think you're right, David. I think it was a very low standard performance yesterday. I think everyone feels flat today, including us fans. Not going to have a go at Ange for his response, because it doesn't matter what we think of his coaching. We can't deny the man is under huge pressure. So I'm not going to berate him for what. Do you know what? I get it. I do get it. And I'm not going to berate him either, David, but I think Ange should have. I think Ange should sometimes. I think being a Premier League manager is a high pressure job within itself. And I think you're managing in one of the toughest leagues in the world. And I think that comes with its own pressures, because whoever you manage, either Ipswich, Southampton, comes with its own pressures. Managing Tottenham Hotspur comes with extra pressure, because there's expectations for us to do well and expectations for us to win and be competitive and win trophies and can be competing. So when you do get a season like we've had, where we've had injuries after injuries after injuries, we've lost more games this season than we have in 16 years. The 9th time in his tenure that we haven't even registered a shot on goal. You're going to get frustrations. You're going to get frustrated fans. You're going to get frustrated players. But the players didn't show up yesterday. And is it this Thursday, Sunday thing? Well, if that's the case, then what's the point of going into Europe? Because the idea of going into Europe is you're going to play Wednesday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday. Sometimes 3 games a week, you've got a League Cup game. Do you know that's what you do? That's what you're paid to do. So I get it. I do get what you're saying. He is under huge pressure. But that's what you do when you become a manager at Tottenham Hotspur. You know from the first moment you take that job, you're under huge pressure to get it right. And because he wasn't back properly, in the summer or any of the transfer windows, it makes his job even harder. So I think instead of abusing and shouting at the manager, which I think is wholly unacceptable, whatever you think of him, whatever you think of his coaching, you shouldn't be abusing him and calling him what he was called. I think you need to look at the bigger picture, which is the board, which is the recruitment office, which is absolutely dreadful. And if Levy doesn't sack Lang and bring Paratici back in, then there's something going, because we need Paratici back in this club. We need him back running the recruitment team. We really do. Big up to David. Said if Spurs players showed the same fight in the pitch, then we exactly. I think you're right. Look, you're spot on with that. I can't disagree with that. Is the most successful coaches in the Prem self-harming himself? Oh, sorry. The most successful coach in the Prem in Pep self-harming himself on the bench by scratching his head, which shows the pressure when your team is. Yeah, it is. And look, Pep's most successful manager in the Premier League, if not in Europe. And it was like we were doing a game when we played Man City and beat them. And me and Kevin both remarked on there was a mark on his head, a handprint on his head, a really red handprint. Like, managers do the Premier League's a tough place to manage. It's not the easiest league in the world to manage, but that comes with the territory. That comes with the job. You manage a big club, you're going to be under massive pressure to succeed. And every manager we've had either hasn't been backed or they've sort of failed to that pressure. And Angie's fallen to that pressure. Maybe this job's too big for him. Maybe this job is too hard for him. Maybe this job is maybe the pressure he's feeling is too much for him. I really wanted Ange to work. I really wanted Ange to be successful. I wanted Ange to win a trophy, to show them people who doubted Ange, look, we did pick the right man. Now, he could well end up winning the Europa League. I doubt we will. I hope we do. But the Spurs thing to do, wouldn't it? After the season we've had and go on to win the Europa League. But we have one way of playing, and players and teams have worked it out, and there's no plan B, and that is the problem. That's where the problem lies. And it needs changing. Something needs changing. Big up to Mick as well. Big up, Mick. Look, happy St. Patrick's Day to you, Mick. And he says, good afternoon, Dermot. Good afternoon to you as well. So, well, listen, that is it. Oh, hang on. We should have managed on Sunday morning. He should have managed Sunday on the Parks against teams who have been on the lot. Yeah, that's so true, David. It's so true. So true. Well, listen, guys, that is final score. Again, apologies for not doing it yesterday after the game. I was just really angry with the performance, and I wanted to really think about what I was going to say and how I was going to sort of dissect the game. Plenty more coming this week. I've got a massive update from my source on players that we're looking to buy in the summer. So we've got that show coming up probably on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. That show will be, we're going to do that. Thursday. Now, Thursday's a bit complicated because now Thursday I'm due to go over to Big Up to do the Ireland-Bulgaria game, the first leg of the playoff. But we've also got Change for Tottenham got in touch, and they want somebody to come on Thursday. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to see can I get somebody to cover the Ireland game on Big Up, and we are going to do Change for Tottenham on here. So guys, get your questions in onto in the comment section what you want me to ask and what you want to ask. It will be an 8 o'clock stream. It will be a subscriber only stream as well. So if you want to watch, you want to get involved, hit that subscription button if you can. Before we do go, guys, we do have a channel sponsor called Private Internet Access, and I just want you to go over that. Please do. It's €45 for 2 years plus 4 months free. It is a great deal. But here is Colin telling you all about our channel sponsor, Private Internet Access.
Let me talk to you. A little reference there. But I'm going to stop messing about. I'm going to talk to you about Private Internet Access, the best VPN in the land. Now, when you're online, you may not realize, but all of your data is there for the taking by anybody. With a VPN such as Private Internet Access, your data is safe and secure, streamlined, and nobody else can get hold of it. That's why I use one anyway. VPN's very easy to use. Private Internet Access, all you got to do is log on your phone, select where you want to be. So I want to be in America, and I click go, and there we are. You can also link up your devices to it from your phone if that is easier for you. It's available on a lot of platforms as well, as you can see, and you can use it for a very, very big range of things. So that's even better as well. You can use it, like I said, on all your devices, smartphone, tablets, gaming consoles, and stick it on your modem, and it's unlimited devices. One equals all. It's available all across the world, and it works perfectly. What they do is they mask your IP address, so pesky 3 o'clock kickoffs aren't an issue anymore, and they're independently audited, so there's no logs, 30 million customers, and 4.5-star Trustpilot rated excellent review. Private internet access. Get yours now.
There you go, guys. Do hit that. Do hit the link in the description below. And do it. It's a great deal. €45 for 2 years plus 4 months free afterwards. I got it, and it cost me altogether €51, including VAT. So it's a good deal. It really is a good deal. Big up Stephen Thomas. Yet again, this game management was poor. Get Ange out. Do you know? I think we're all in agreement now. Nearly. I think all the fans. I think any fan that had any sort of credit left, I think has now got to the point where a change has to be made. It will be made in the summer. There is a review. Tottenham are already talking to new agents of other managers, so we know that's going to happen. But who will it be? I would like Thomas Frank to become manager. But look, it's a show we will get into possibly later on in the international break. But guys, look, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you all for watching. We're back on at 8 tonight with the St. Patrick's Day stream. A bit of fun, a bit of laughter, somewhere where you can leave the Spurs bad news at the door. You come in, get yourself a whiskey, get yourself a pint of Guinness, get yourself whatever, and listen to some good crack as we try to cheer everyone up with the St. Patrick's Day stream. So join me then at 8. If you can, happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone here. But if you can, we'll see you later. But like and subscribe if you can. Hit that notification bell. Hit the QR code above me as well for our big up match day magic as well. And also hit the description below for our channel sponsor, Private Internet Access. It does get the job done. And also pick up your memberships as well. We've got a few announcements to make in the next couple of weeks regarding memberships, what we're doing show-wise as from next season and the summer. So please look out for that. Whatever you do, enjoy yourself. Come on, you Spurs. In the big cockerel, we trust. See you later at 8. Bye-bye.
Eyes on the prize.